Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, double honors to our elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to all the brothers pushing this work in sincerity and in truth. This is Brother Tamayan from James, Toronto, coming at you with another video. Tonight's video I'm going to be talking about the so-called war between men and women in this society. And this is, Esau, Edom at work. Having these women who knows that they're the weaker vessel, and you can tell that they know that they're being rebellious too, because when you watch these fit and fresh podcast, Myron and the other guy, if these guys ever snap, they can just easily destroy all these women on the podcast, like physically, and they're not even big, powerful men. Right? They're not men with like martial arts skills or anything like that. But they're just men in general. And then you have these girls coming on their podcast being prideful, being narcissistic. And at the end of the day, that's what Esau wants. That's what his agenda that he was pushing since the 60s and 70s. For women to be rebellious, women to be lawless, sleep around, because evidently that's another way of programming. That's another way of what do you call it? That again? Population control. That's another way. That's the main way of destroying the family, because you cannot make a family with these women if that's what you're into. If you want a family in this time, right? You're into this whole OnlyFans, just having these simps paying a lot of money for them, for pictures and all kind of fetishes. So they think by because they already seen they see men. The thing is, like, when you listen to pimps, women will never look at pimps as the way that they look at like a woman look at her husband, or she look at her husband as a damn, like a pussy boy. He jumped. When you say jump, when she say jump, you say how high. Right? The same way that these women look at these guys buying pictures and all that shit. That's the same way they try to look at every man outside. But every man outside is not going to pay for your OnlyFans. So that's the thing that they have in their mind. They think that every man is a trick, and they look at every man as a potential trick. And then when they meet a man who's not a potential trick, then they look at him as like the enemy. But at the same time, the ones that's buying their shit, that's also their enemy. So these women, now they're coming against men, and it's like these men are getting weaker. And these women are getting more rebellious, because they're never going to get stronger, because when men are starting to figure them out too. So when they're figured out, they're going to be put back into their place, right, which is being servants. And the time is coming when you women are going to be put back into subjection again, playing that your feminine role. Like the picture that you see here, it says more than a woman. There's no such thing as more than a woman. They don't build anything. They don't create anything. They're just leeches that leeches off what men build. Esau, Edom build this shit off the blood, sweat, and tears of the Israelites. So let me get the first scripture. Tremble, you women that are at ease. Isaiah 32 and 11 says here, tremble, you women that are at ease, be troubled, you careless ones, strip you and make you bare, and great sackcloth upon your loins. Right? So that's what's going to come to you women. Eventually, right? Eventually you're going to be Salakia. Eventually you're going to, these men that are tricking off you, they're going to find you. You think they don't know where you live? They're going to find you eventually. And now, this whole MGTOW You know, for every woman that's rebellious and hate men, because that's what they do. At the end of the day, they hate men through these your Gloria Steinem, Eleanor Roosevelt. You know, these white women that was walking around being feminist in the '60s, coming to your black community, telling the woman, you know, you don't have to depend on the man and all that shit. This is the product. Now, you know, they're going back and forth with men. You have women like Cynthia G. You know, she's another one. She's on her high horse because she thinks her making some videos on YouTube, and her having viewers and all that. You know, she thinks she's all that. But don't worry, Cynthia G. Your time will come. All your time will come. Okay? Now you low level women that's out here thinking that because you have some fans on OnlyFans, you know, it used to be that people that has talent used to be the only one that had fans, so-called fans, right? And fanatics and all that stuff. You know, fans are just fanatics. You know, people are obsessed with these celebrities, but now celebrities don't even have fans anymore. These hoes on Instagram and OnlyFans has fans. You know, it's weird. But now, you know, like men are waking up, you know, well, they're not waking up actually, just certain men out here that are just men. You know, it is what it is. The majority of the rest of the population are just simps. All right? They're just simps. That's all it is, really. But, you know, this is the thing that you men are going through in these times. Women are coming against you. You're being rebellious. You're being out of order at the end of the day. But don't worry. Your time will come. Let me get into the scripture. Oh, yeah, Salakia. Yeah, the Fit and Fresh podcast, you know, I seen him kick girls off the show, you know, and you know, apparently on TikTok he's like most hated on TikTok, you know, but he's really not the extreme, you know. As much as people hate pimps, the way that pimps deal with women, that's the only way you can deal with women in this time, and that's against the scriptures too. But nothing's scriptural out here, man. No one's going with the scripture, so everything has to be out of order. Imagine that's the only person that has control over a woman is a pimp in this time. It used to be that our forefathers, you know, the women weren't, you know, they used to be in subjection. And now, you know, there was a time when women knew that they were women. And, you know, like a man's wrath is a man's wrath. And he can snap your neck in 2 seconds. But now it's... The respect is very low, as you can see, and women don't know how dangerous men are. You know, they can hate men all they want, but guess what? The time is coming when, you know, men are gonna start acting their instincts again. And let me see what you women are gonna do. So I just read the scripture, tremble you women that are at ease. Right? Those days are coming. And this is the prophecy that you're fulfilling right now. A woman shall compass a man. Jeremiah 31 and 22. How long will thou go about, O daughter, O backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. And that's what you see right now. That's why you men... And like, you know, and like the elder Malcolm has said, and me and one of the brothers in the camp, we talked about this. You know, it doesn't matter how big your stick is, man. You know, or how good in bed you are. That doesn't keep the black woman or the Israelite woman. It doesn't. You know, look at the Moabite man. Look at the Indian man. They're not known to have no big stick like how the so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native American have big stick. But whose women are in power? So like in order. Their women are in order. You know, it's a curse thing, man. It's a curse thing. We're under the curses, so it doesn't matter what you have or what you do with it. You know, your woman is going to be hating on you. Right? And this is what you have in the society. A woman shall compass a man in every fraction of life. And it's through democracy, and it's through a serpent spreading his ideology and his wine. Okay? So I'll just leave it there. All praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, the honest, our elders of Great Millstone, Shalom.